Omarion Hampton might just be one of the most powerful backs we've ever seen to come out of college. An absolute tackle-breaking machine who has yards after contact ability for days, and an ability to go low into a defender to grind out 2 to 3 extra yards on any single carry. But in this loaded draft class, will that be enough to see him go all the way in round 1? Or will the other running backs around him get ahead of him due to more explosive abilities? If you enjoy this content, please consider liking and subscribing. But let's have a little bit of a look into Omarion Hampton. The strengths of Hampton's game are obvious to see for anyone that watches him, even just for a play. This is a back who is impossible to bring down without him gaining a couple of extra yards first. His contact balance is truly elite, and this means that he can actually retain balance no matter the angle of a tackler trying to hit him or against the size of defender that he's up against. He's constantly able to manipulate his body and control his ability to get through gaps to mean that he can wriggle out of arm tackles at any opportunity and just gain a few extra yards on every single down. And this ties into his ability to just constantly be able to fall forwards. This is a huge thing with running backs. Being able to pick up an extra 2 yards per carry because you're able to manipulate your body and drive low through your legs to fall forwards through contact is going to be so helpful for your team in grinding out those extra yards. And a lot of this comes from, as I said, the ability to generate power through his lower body. He clearly has incredibly strong legs, and it means that as he remains low through contact, he's able to drive upwards into a defender and then generate those extra couple of yards. The other thing that I noticed with him is an explosive burst of agility the moment he hits a hole. This is something which was incredibly impressive and not something that I was expecting to see from someone who's 220 pounds plus. But I was really impressed to see the way in which he's able to get skinny and then with speed and acceleration get through a hole. Now, he does lack long speed, but that initial burst was very impressive. And I think the moment he can get up to top speed, he is almost impossible to bring down. Hampton is definitely more of a north-south runner than someone who's going to be able to consistently find the edge or cut back through holes. But if you can get him moving north-south with momentum and drive a scheme around his ability to do so, this running back is going to be almost unstoppable. Given the impression of him that I had as a power back, I was incredibly impressed with his soft hands out in space. But what I would say is that this is someone that has a limited route tree throughout college, much more being used in checkdowns and screens rather than in the designed passing game. Now, that's fine and not a huge drawback. He's still a good pass catching back, which is much better for someone of his size than I thought it would be. But a weakness to his game is that he's not currently an elite one. He also struggles a fair amount in pass protection, but that's something that a lot of backs in college will do. The other thing that I would say about Hampton is that I think he lacks creativity in space. I don't think he tends to use different moves and different amounts of leverage to set up defenders, and he definitely lacks the extra gear in terms of long speed to truly pull away from them. But something that I completely consistently saw is that he will intentionally run into contact rather than away from it. This is someone who's very aware of the strengths and weaknesses of their own game, and he knows that he can break through tacklers, but is probably unlikely to break away from them with pure speed alone. But I would like to see him be able to wriggle and get more creative when he's into the second level, just to mean that he can develop a little bit of something extra to his game rather than just seeking to make contact with the next defender to try and go through them rather than round them. The playstyle comparison here was quite difficult for me because I do think he has more to him than a lot of the power backs that we see. But I considered putting him alongside David Montgomery, someone that we know has a nose for the end zone, but some creativity and juice in his way to find momentum through space. However, the one that I ended up going with, and it's interesting given that they went to the same school, is college Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams at North Carolina broke all kinds of records for his ability to break tackles, which we've just not really seen since he hit the NFL, especially due to the injuries that he's had. However, Hampton is what we thought Javonte Williams was going to be, and I think he'll be a much better version once he hits the league. His current projected draft value is towards the back of the first round, perhaps the early second. He's currently slated per mock draft database as the running back 2 in the class, but I think every single team is going to have a different running back second on their board behind Ashton Genty. His projected rookie draft value is really interesting. If you look in one quarterback leagues, he could be going anywhere from the 103 to the 106. He's likely to go after Genty and Ted McMillan, but could be anywhere in the next few picks. And likely the same in Superflex. This could be someone you take as early as the 103 if you don't like Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders and you have him as your running back too. But he also could go way further back in the first round. It'll be interesting to see where landing spot settles his consensus rankings when it comes to rookie drafts. Let me know your thoughts on Hampton down below in the comments. Is he your running back 2 in this class? And please consider liking and subscribing to check out all of the other rookie profile content available on my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.